Good evening, everybody. We got the Hudson Public Utilities Commission meeting, and we'll take a roll call.
All right, Jason's not here, so I'm going to just do a quick roll call. Carrie Rice.
Here.
Joyce Hall.
Here.
Susie Coram.
Here.
David Preisel.
Here.
Mary Wecken.
Here.
And Andy Hassan is absent. So we can move on to number 2 then, Pat.
Well, the first thing on the agenda is the approval of the previous meeting minutes from November the 9th. Looking for a motion to accept the minutes.
So moved to approve. Oh, I'll second.
If we could, just a quick formality for me, because Jason's going to have to go back and rewatch this. So if you're going to make a motion and a second, maybe just, say your name, something like that, so he can recognize who's making the motion and who's making the second.
Okay, so I made a motion.
When he figures out the minutes, so. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, motion passes. Sorry, Pat, if I'm taking over. If you want to do it, you can.
Well, we do have new business. It would be the discussion of possible action on Magni Pay approval. And we're looking for a motion on that.
So in your packets, we're up to Magni Pay app number 18. It's in the amount of $300,139.50. We did have SEH go through and look at everything that was presented for payment. They did authorize and sign off on payment of that. So we are getting just we're getting towards the end. Let me look here. We've got a little over $1 million to finish this project. In pay apps and things like that. So it's moving along down there, and we'll talk a little bit more about what's going on down there in the updates that we'll have here, construction updates pretty quick. So we will need a motion and a second, and then a vote on Magni Pay app number 18, unless you have any questions on it. If you do have any questions, please ask.
I noticed that most of the items that were in change order 2 have now been completed.
Yeah, most of them should be, and we just started working on change order 3 now. So yes.
Well, there's 2 items left in change order 2.
Okay.
4-inch plug on the WAS line and 6-inch FM piping swap. What's the 6-inch FM piping swap?
Oh, I'd have to get my change orders out and look at everything. I don't have everything right in front of me in terms of the change orders. If you want, send me an email.
Okay, it's just fine.
I can definitely follow up, but I don't have anything in front of me.
I know we approved change order, or the commission approved change order 2.
Yes.
Several months ago. It's just, I believe those are the only 2 items left to be done after this pay request. So I was just wondering if you knew what those were and when they were going to.
Right off the top of my head, no.
Not an issue.
So yeah, if you do want to know, and that goes for everybody, Carrie too. If you do have questions, normally I'm in my office tonight. A lot of times I'm not with the Zoom, but I don't always have everything right in front of me. So if you do see something that, kind of you're looking through the agenda the night before or whatever, and I wonder what that's going on, please don't be afraid to shoot me an email, give me a phone call, something like that. Then I can have answers for you. So I apologize, Mary, that I don't have that.
No, that's all right. Can you give an idea what's on change order 3?
I'd have to get all my paperwork out.
All
Yeah,
right.
you'll be seeing it. You guys will be seeing it, obviously. Any other questions on pay app number 18 in the amount of $300,139.50.
All right, this is Joyce. I'll move to approve.
This is David. I'll second that.
Okay, and then all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes.
Well, the next item is the project updates and the project status reports, the November construction update.
Okay, so in your packet, there is the memorandum from SEH on what's been happening down there the last month. Site piping, the influent wastewater flow was bypassed around the main plant wet well to allow existing outside buried force main to be connected to the buried force main to be tied and connected to the new pretreatment building. Right? Sounds like a lot. Basically, they hooked into the new building. So there is flow going through the new pretreatment building as of about a week ago. So the flow is going through there. Now they're just kind of working out, small kinks and different things like that. The lab building during bypass pumping, the main plant, wet well pump valves were replaced and interior force main piping. We realigned to complete the tie-in the new pretreatment building. The new pretreatment, they began treating raw wastewater, removing rags, screening grit, and that's all now online. And this sludge conditioning building, the DAF tank was tested with clean water. DAF tank will begin treating sludge the first week of December. So they're already treating it as we speak. And if you kind of go through, it gives you just some very nice photos again. When they tied that force main in, you've got some stuff in the lab building on new piping, new valves that are going in. You've got photograph 4 is your new pretreatment building. That's where all the pretreatments or all the wastewater is going through the pretreatment. You can kind of see the screens and different things like that. That's where they're removing all the grit from there. And then there's also a picture of the DAF tank that was completely redone, and that's back online. So. Any construction update questions? Otherwise, we can move down to the project status report. And obviously that's getting shorter here. Now we're getting into most of the projects are wrapped up for the year. So well, the wastewater treatment plant, my guess is we're about 70% done on construction down there. The Highway 35 is done now. So we wrapped that up. So that's pretty much all for major projects, that's pretty much what we got going on right now. So any questions or anything on that? Okay, keep rolling here. Pat, number 5, if you would.
So number 5, other business for informational purposes only, or upcoming agenda. And I guess we got 5.1, discussion on Public Utilities Commission meeting procedures.
Okay, so this, Andy wanted this put on there. He did give me he sent me an email on kind of what he wanted to talk about tonight. He apologizes that he can't be here, but I will read the email. And then I've also got a couple things on here that I wanted to talk about just for information. So for the PUC, this is Andy's email. For the PUC meeting procedures, I recommend that we move to more transparent and professional proceedings in regard to Zoom meetings. I believe the Zoom meetings have provided a valuable way for us to communicate and function and remain successful in our goals. With that being said, in every company, college, or other professional settings, being in Zoom meetings requires that you participate by a video or your participation is not recognized. I believe that we should also follow this rule and make video mandatory in order to be recognized as an active participant. A couple of reasons why I believe this is the right decision. For one, it is common professional decorum. Be seen and be heard. 2, we sometimes need to go into closed session, and when you are not on video, we have no idea who is around you or who is in the room. Closed session conversations are private and privileged to the members of our commission, and closed session conversations need to remain amongst our select group only. Lastly, you should not have the option to not be on camera. That option is available if you choose to attend in person. I would recommend that the commission approve this change effective immediately. Kind regards, Andrew Hudson. So with that, I will leave it open. The only thing I had on here, and I guess this is just kind of open for discussion. We don't really have any written rules, things like that. But the only other thing I had on here was, do we want to continue Zoom? I like it. I think we get better attendance that way, things of that nature. But I read the email. I'll throw it out to you guys for discussion. So
I prefer to meet via Zoom. At this point, with all the hospitals filled with COVID patients, I don't think that it's really a smart idea to go back to in person at this time.
I feel the same way.
I think things
At
are
least for
working
the
pretty
time
well.
being.
I'm okay with Zoom for now. I think it would be good to get back to in-person meetings at some point here. But I think at this point, it's still okay. I think it's a nice option, especially for those who travel for work, to be able to be present if you're on the road.
correct.
And so I don't know if a hybrid option would be available down the road, but something to consider.
Yeah, I mean, we can always, we always have it available. If you want to come here to the office, you're more than welcome to come here. Things of that nature. So any comments on Andy's email or anything along that line?
I agree. We actually just had the same discussion at our office a couple of weeks ago.
I'm the newest member, so I'm accustomed to having business conducted via Zoom. So that I don't know if it's customary that a lot of members of the public attend these meetings. If so, having an occasional one in person might make sense. But I also, have infants in my life and 86-year-old mother that I see frequently, like daily. So I'm extra careful. So Zoom works very well for me. On the topic of turning on the camera, I was curious, Mary, this is my first meeting, why you wouldn't have it on. I don't want you to feel as though this is being directed only at you, so I don't know what the custom here is. But it does seem to me that as part of our public service, that people be able to see us do the work that we do, see us literally. So having the camera on seems just part of the whole communication process.
Anything else?
When I'm in person, the camera is on. This is not the only committee that I'm on. And when we meet in person, I'm on camera just like everybody else. But on my computer, I prefer not to be.
Is there a motion that has to be made, or just a process question?
I think it's more of a process question. I think if the PUC, if I don't know if you can force it, and it's just the reason this was brought up also is they were having a lot of issues at council too, with people not being, now they kind of stopped Zoom, and I think it's only for public hearings and different things like that. But, they were having a lot of issues with people coming on Zoom. They don't have their camera on. We don't get it. We get a few visitors here and there. That's pretty much it. But I think it was more of an issue with City Hall to where, people would be on there and next thing you know, they're spouting a whole bunch of information out and, things of that nature. But they don't ever have their camera on, so nobody can actually know who they are or what's going on. But that's it. I think that's probably a good reason why it was brought up. But I know Andy just wanted it brought up. He wanted the commission's thoughts on having the camera on. You guys can set any rules for this kind of stuff that you want, as far as I'm concerned. So, I mean, if you guys want to have cameras on, that's fine. If you don't care, that's fine. But I think, maybe we should kind of maybe make something here, what you want, what do you want to have happen? Do you want cameras? Do you not? Do you care? Things of that nature. So I think that's kind of what Andy's trying to get at here.
It sounds to me like the group here has a majority of people that would suggest that the camera should be on. Short of taking a vote on it, I think that there's agreement for that.
David, Joyce,
I
Pat,
concur.
Mary,
Yeah.
Gary.
All the business meetings that I participate in right now, the camera has to be on. I don't have that option at work to not have my camera on during these discussions. So I feel kind of the same way here. This is public. This is us working for the community, and they should see what we're up to and hear.
So I guess then kind of consensus is saying that we do want cameras on. Obviously, if there is some reason that you can't, I mean, we all run into that sometimes. We might be driving in the car or something along that line. I guess then we'll deal with that there. But okay, so anything else on PUC meeting procedures that anybody's kind of noticed over the years that maybe want to be talked about or cleaned up, things of that nature? That's all I had was just if we want to continue Zoom or not. So if not, we can move on.
Well, the next item is on the iPads. I don't know, was it linked with what we're talking about last?
No, so I actually put that on there. So sitting in my office right now, and Carrie, we do offer iPads to the commissioners if you want one. It's completely up to you. If you do, we can talk about that later. Get a hold of me and let me know. But right now, I've got four of the commissioners' iPads in my office here, and they've been sitting here for months. I guess what I'm asking is if the commission, if you commission members do not want your iPad and you're not going to use your iPad, I would like to put these to use somewhere else with my staff. So I just don't want, thousands of dollars of iPads sitting in my office on the floor doing absolutely nothing. So, if there's no objections, to using them, I am going to have them wiped by IT. I'll get them over to IT, have them completely wiped, reset up, so my staff can actually use them. So I guess I'm just kind of looking for, it's okay, or absolutely not. We want them just to sit on the floor, or
Kip,
I want mine back.
I think one of those is mine, and you certainly can put that to better use with your staff.
Okay.
Please do the same with mine, Kip. That
Okay.
makes sense. Instead of going buying a new one for the staff to use, please use it. So
Okay.
I would like login data for my email to the city,
Okay.
and I'll talk to you with that separately.
Yeah. If you want, David, send me an email.
Yep.
Let's just do that, what you're looking for. And then I can just forward that right on to IT and get all that information.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
and then Carrie, we'll also have to set you, we're going to have to talk to, as long as we're on this subject. I don't know if did they set you up with a City of Hudson email yet?
I do not believe so.
Okay. So get a hold of me next week or sometime, just shoot me an email or whatever. But yeah, they'll have to set you up with a City of Hudson email. Because
Okay.
all of our stuff like this, the agenda, all that kind of stuff, it actually goes to your City of Hudson email, and then we also send it to your personal accounts. But for record keeping and for I'm guessing open records requests, different things like that, we do have to send it to your City of Hudson email. You don't
Okay.
ever have to use it or check it if you don't want to, but we do have to do that. So we will set you up with one here eventually. So, okay. Sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
On that note, it would be nice to have water too back on the distribution list for utility commission.
Are we
It has
missing that
not
one?
been on there for many months, almost all year.
Who's water too?
Me.
Oh, and that it's not on there?
And I brought this up before. And again, I only get it on my personal email, not on the water too.
I'll have to check that I know they set the distribution list up at City Hall. So I will double check. I just made myself a note here.
Yeah, I noticed the building inspector is copied. I mean, there's 27
Yeah.
some odd emails on it.
Yeah.
And water 2 is not one of them.
Okay. She'll just have to add that water 2 into the list then and go from there. So, all right. Anything else on any of that? Otherwise, what I'm hearing is I will just distribute, I'll take care of these iPads and kind of just go from there. So.
Put them to good use.
Yep. And then 5.3 on the back to the agenda, 5.3 is just the West Central Biosolids meeting minutes. We don't need any action on that. That's basically just for information. So, and if you want, Pat, we can go down to
Okay,
6.
so then we have the sewer and water utility cash reports.
So we've got in your packet is the November cash reports and for the water and for the sewer. So you can take a look at them. And then if you have any questions on them, we don't need a motion or anything on that. And we are, and just for information too, we are, I want to say we're one or two payments. They're working on processing right now for the Clean Water Fund loan. So that's in the process right now of going through finance and all that kind of stuff to be turned in for reimbursement on the Clean Water Fund loan. All right, 7 then if you want, Pat.
So then we have
questions on
utility
6.
claims and payables. Now that we need to vote on.
Yep, that we do need a motion and a second, and then any discussion on that.
This is Joyce. I'll move to approve.
I'll second it, David.
Any discussion on payables?
Yeah, I have a question. Page 35, you've got the Marco printer lease. There's 2 items listed. And then it's listed again on page 36.
Let's see. I'm just guessing here off of the. It's probably we split a lot of that stuff because of water and sewer. So that's
okay.
probably why sometimes when you see a lot of this stuff, if you do see it twice, I'm just looking. I don't even know what page. I'm on page 1, or page 10 of 18. But anyway, I'm looking. There is an account or a charge for $111.44.
Yeah.
If you look right next to it, there's a 600 and a 610, so that's split. So a lot of that kind of stuff, it's water pays for half, sewer pays for half type thing.
Oh, okay.
And just to let the commission know that I did send an email to Jace about a potential duplicate invoice. And his response was the HydroCorp invoice. He's going to have one of them deleted because it is a duplicate invoice.
Yeah, that does happen periodically. We get that. I don't know why.
So
Mary, is that the one for $1,863, October?
there's 2 of them. I'm sorry. The one is invoice 0064224, and the other one is the same number with a underline and then IN.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Jace will take care of that then when he gets back.
And he was going to check on the Zappa invoice because it said service abandonment in the description, and I thought the old fire station service was abandoned months ago.
Here's the thing with Gary Zappa. We got inundated here with a whole bunch of him throughout all the summer. It actually came a couple of years ago. We had a bunch of issues where he wasn't getting his bills in time. So we were getting them, it was like 2019 and we were getting them in 2020. So we kind of jumped on him for some of that stuff, but yeah, we can double check that too.
Yeah, please double check because I know I've seen it before.
Okay. Yeah, we'll double check that one.
So you might want to amend the motion for those two items, just to make sure that it's in the record.
I'll make the amendment.
David, second that.
But Kip, going back to that Marco printer lease. So on one page you got, so the 600 means, one of them means water, the 610, one of them means sewer, right?
Yep. Correct.
But then on the next page, there's another set of them.
Okay. Yep, I'm seeing, I think what you're,
And the invoice numbers are the same.
okay. We'll have Jace check that one too.
Okay.
So I've got
Oh.
the Zappa invoice, the HD Supply invoice, and a Marco lease, correct? Is there
Yes.
anything else? Yeah, I'll have them check when he gets back. So,
Okay. Thanks.
okay, so we have a motion with those three question marks. David, I believe you second that, correct?
Correct.
Okay, is there any other discussion? Otherwise, we will need a motion or a vote on that. So any other
All in
discussion?
favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And passes.
So I guess the only other item left is adjournment.
Yep, and we do need a motion on that.
So moved. David?
Second, Joyce.
Okay, any discussion on adjournment? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Good night.
Welcome, Gary. Happy holidays, everyone.
Thank
Happy
you.
holidays.